Welcome everyone. So today's session is basically based on the extension of my previous video of chmod where I explained about what are the file types, different permissions, how to set permissions, how to use chmod, what is umask and other topics. Today's session is a bit different but related to permissions, also about different entities of permissions like user owner, group owner, and others. So yes, start now. So I have opened already a README file where I will just walk you through with some of the points here, and then we do a demo later on, followed by that. First is, you know that already there are three permissions in Unix for any file or a directory. First is the read permission represented by R. So the octal number for read is 4, for octal number for write is 2, and octal number for execute is X. Any file or directory in Unix have a user owner who owns the file or create a file or a directory. Second entity is group owner, which is associated with that file or directory. When you create, it can have the same user owner as a group owner, or it can also have a new group which is assigned to it by the root. So there can be two possibilities. Third is the others. Others are simply who is not a user owner or a group owner, members of group owner or user owner. If they are not that, they come into the third category called others. So I'll show you one example of a directory. So assume there is a umask for this machine is, or the system OS is 0002. So the first zero here is a bit for UID, set user UID or set group ID or sticky bit, which is 0 right now. So you don't need to worry about that for now. We leave this topic for the next session maybe. And then the rest, 3002 is basically it impacts the file permission when you create a file or a directory. So let's take one example here. So I have created a directory called dir. If I do the long listing of this directory called dir, you can see the permissions here. So let me just enable the line number in GVim. Okay, so line number 21, it's line number 21 is a permissions shown for the directory dir. As you can see, it starts with D, it means it's a directory. So the first three bits after that belong to the group, the user owner, and the user owner is you can see it's a pine here. You can see clearly here it's pine. So pine has rwx permission, and next three bits after that group owner is also pine, and it also has the read write execute permission, and then the last three bits is rx, and rx belong to others. So this is how you read the permissions, but this is a permission for this directory called dir. Same way you can long list any file and check the permission on file also. What does this mean basically? Okay, so this is very important for us to understand when we look at the permissions of a file, what exactly it mean. So I'm going to just give you a very brief idea about it, but this is what it is actually. So if let's talk about the user owner permission, which is rwx, as you can see. So what is R for user owner? What is R? So the user owner means Pine can list all the files or directories or subdirectories or hidden files or hidden directories inside dir directory, because dir has read access. So when the main directory has the read access for any specific user, that user can list the all the subdirectories and the files inside that directory. So this is about read. Going back to the second permission, which is w. So w is write, and what is write with respect to the directory? So write means so this user here is specifically I'm talking about pine user. Pine user can create a new file or directories inside the directory dir directory, and this is very important, and they can also and the user Pine can also delete any file or directory inside dir directory. So this is the write access. Okay, and so the write access for is with respect to directory is enable that enables you to create or delete any files or directory inside it. That's very important point. And third is the execute access for this user pine, which is the user owner, and the user owner can also cd to this directory. This is a execute permission for our directory. With respect to file, these terminologies will change a little bit, but these terminologies are specific for directories, as I have just explained. Okay, so now you can think of what could be those permissions with respect to files. So just think about it, and hopefully you will figure it out by yourself. If not, just ask me. Okay, now if a group owner, okay, if a group owner has UNIX second, you can see the line number 23, right? So line number 23, if I go to line number 23, group owner also has RWX, right? So if the group owner also have the RWX, then group owner means all the members of that group. And what is the group? Pine. So all the members of group Pine will have the exact same permissions, just like a uh, user owner Pine, because, and that I have already explained here in these three bullets, RWX. Same way, all the members of this group Pine, currently the Pine will have only one member called Pine, but let assume if I add two more people in Pine group, so those two more people will also have the same permission RWX as explained above for dir1, sorry, for directory. Okay, let's go ahead and check for the third entity at line number 24. It is Rx for others. And what does it mean for others? Rx. Okay, others means, what is other? Other means it's not a user owner Pine, and it is also not the part of a group owner members, or means it is not the part of Pine group. So others can actually still list all the files and directories, hidden directories or hidden directory and files inside this dir. Why? Because other also has a read access, as you can see, Rx. Other can also cd to a directory called dir, right? Why? Because others also have execute access. But what others cannot do, this is very critical point, others cannot create a file or a directory inside dir, and cannot delete or directory or file inside dir, even if those others, even if that file or a directory, owned by is owned by others. So for a demo, I have prepared a very, I have prepared some points here to for you to go through. So first of all, we will use root access, or we'll use root login, and actually add a new user called user1, give a password to it, and this is just the reset password, but we'll not do it. So let's try that first. So this is root. So if I do who am I, you can see it is a root. So I'll just clear the screen. So root can run from at any path, it doesn't matter. I'm so for as a root I will add a new user. So add a new user, I will run a command called add user and then the name of the user. Okay, so let's do it. So I'll run as a root add user and the name of the user. So I will give a user as a user1, enter. Okay, new password. So I'll set a password for this new user, given the password, saying retype it. I'm retyping the password. What is the full name? So let's call this user the first name is user1. No need to give other entities. Keep on going. Say information is true. Yes. So what it has done at home slash home directory, I am at this path at the root. If I long list now, so you will see in a long list I am also seeing user1 home directory which has been created. And you can see what is the default, right? This is important. What is the default permissions for user1? Okay, so the default permission for user1 is this rw. This for this directory, user1 directory, the permissions have come like this: rwx, read, write, execute for user1, write, sorry, read and execute for user1 group owner. Group owner is user1 also, and for others it is read and execute. Okay, this is the permission. Now for Pine, this is another user called Pine, and this user has its own home directory, and the same permissions are for this user also. Okay, so since we have already created this new user, user 1, so I will use another terminal and just log in this new user 1. So in order to log in as another user, you just do su switch user command and give user 1. You should know the password, so I know the password. I'm giving the password now, and I am, who am I? I am user 1. Okay, so let's go back to my home directory. So if I run the cd command pwd, I am in my home directory. Okay, I can do the long list. This is what I have. Okay, right. So let me go one level back here. So as you can see, uh, so what is the situation? So I am a user 1, as you can see, right? I am the user 1, and this Pine directory belongs to another user called Pine, and you can see the directory permission for this directory Pine here is, for others it is read and execute. Read and execute, that means I can simply cd to this Pine directory. Okay, I can simply cd to this Pine directory because I have a execute permission for others. So and other, and with respect to user 1, Pine is different. So this is a user 1 session, right? So with respect to Pine, this user 1 is it falls into the others category, as you know, right? So can I cd to this Pine directory? Let's check. I can cd to this Pine directory. Okay, can I list? I can list, right? I can list lslt. So it is working. I can do that. Let's try to list lsltra, means including the hidden file directories. So as you can see, I can actually, this is pwd. Okay, this pwd is home Pine. I am in, and who am I am user 1. So user 1 can still go inside home directory of this Pine. Okay, home directory of Pine, and can simply cd to it, as well as list. But what, okay, so if I want to know the permission of Pine directory being at this level, what I can do? It's very simple command. Please learn. So you can do ls minus d and then dot. So the dot represents the directory, the parent directory, and parent directory is Pine, this one, right? So what is the permission of this parent directory? You can see ls minus ld. I'm sorry, you have to do long list. And what is the parent permission on this parent directory Pine? It is this. So you can clearly see the, for other is means the permissions for others means permissions for user 1 with respect to this user Pine, right? Others is rx. So I have just demonstrated you that being a permission of x, I could cd to this directory Pine. Yes, this parent directory dot, right? I could cd to it, and being a permission of R, I could list the content inside this. But what I cannot, I do not have, what, which permission I do not have as a other write. So if I do not have a write permission, that means I cannot delete, or I cannot delete or create any directory or file inside this directory, inside Pine directory. So let's try to touch a file. Let's call file name as hello. I cannot. I do not have a permission, write permission. Okay. Can I delete something already? So let me try to delete a file called, you know, .bashrc, for example, .bashrc. Sorry, bad spelling. So you can see remove write protected file. So it is giving a clear error message saying that do you want to remove a write protected file? And it is asking this question. Okay, and you can see here this .bashrc I'm trying to remove, but because I am who I am user 1. User 1 doesn't have the write access. So user 1 cannot delete this file. Okay. User 1 cannot delete this file. So this is simple, right? So I hope this is clear how why we cannot create or delete anything, because it is not allowed by this, right? So now what we can do is we will change the permissions for others being a pine. So I go to my home directory pwd. Okay, so go one level back. At the pine directory I'm here because I am the owner of pine directory, right? So let me do this chmod. I will give the permission of I will give the right permission to others. So I can say right to others. So it should be vice versa, others to right. So I give a right permission to other for a directory for my directory called pine. Okay, now long list, and you can see now others also have got a right access. Now I'm here. Now inside my home directory, inside the home directory of pine, the user one will again try to run a command touch and check what will happen. Okay, so I will say let clear the screen. Okay, I'll clear the screen. Okay, touch uh, new file. Oh yes, I can now. User one can now touch a file. So if you check here, user one can touch a file. Means user one has created a file now because the parent directory has got a write access to other. Can uh, can I write something inside this new file? Let's try that. So I will run vi editor new file and say hello. So hello, I can write it. So vi is same as gvim. I saved it, and can I do a cat read this file also? Read this file. Hello, I can read this file. Okay. Now question is, can I read any other file? So can I read .bash rc? So look, if I want to read .bash rc, read means cat. You can see others have read access of .bash rc. That means I can still cat this .bash rc. Let's check, and you can see I can cat .bash rc also, right? Let's do one thing. Being a Pine user, I will remove the read access also from other. So I can say other minus read. Okay, from .bash rc. Okay, let's check the permission on .bash rc now. .bash rc. Others has the read access has been gone. So now again from this terminal, I will now check or try to cat this file, and you can see I cannot read this file anymore. Means if I even I do gvim .bash rc, what let's see what happens. So it says cannot display message error. Continue. Nothing is displayed. Permission denied. Okay, so we just quit this gvim. So nothing can work. This is simple, right? But the question is it good to give a right permission to others? Definitely not. But I am just demonstrating you it can be done. So what is the problem? So problem is this. For example, I'll give you a demo. So I'll create a new file called test in my home directory as pine. So you can see the pine. I have created a new file called uh, test inside my home directory of pine, and this has read write for group owner, user owner pine, read write for group owner pine, and read for other. Okay, so other can read as you know. So that means I can also read. I am other here, right? With respect to this, I can read this file, but there is nothing written inside it. So I will write something first. So I can say hi test. Okay, so test, I have written test. So I can do cat here as a user one. Mm, test, and you can see I can read it. Okay, but but what is the permission of root direct of parent directory pine? So let's try one more time. ls minus ld dot. So there is a read write execute. All three permissions are set for this parent directory pine. So that means I can, being a user one, let's try to remove now test. But you can see before I do that. So if I do ls minus l test file, so the test file was created by user owner pine, and group owner is also pine. Okay, so this test file is created by owner pine. But can I remove as a user one? Can I remove this file? Look, so I will say remove write protected regular file. So I will say yes, and you can see this file is being deleted. This file is being deleted. Okay, so this is not good. This is not good. That file is being deleted by user one. Let's try to delete the new file which was already created by user one. So I can do rm new file, and you can see this was because I was the owner. User one was the owner, so it was deleted without any problem, right? Right. So let me try to create another file touch as user one underscore file. Okay, why I am able to create the file? Because I have a write access as other in the home in the parent directory, right? So let's check that. Not this one, sorry. ls minus ld dot. So the other has a write access. That's why I'm able to create a file here. So I'm able to create this file called uh, user one file, right? So I will do long list again, and you can see, sorry, it's a wrong option. Oops, one more time. There's a typo. Okay, like that. You can see user one, the user one has been able to create this file because we had a write access uh, as others for in the parent directory, right? That's now owner is user one. Okay, owner is user one. Okay, now being being a pine, being a pine, can I still remove rm minus r is not required? Let's just try to remove the user one file. Look, user one file can again still be removed even if the owner was user one. It was removed by pine. Why? Because the parent directory pine has read write execute for this directory. That's why this user pine can still remove this file. Okay, this is it. So now let's try one more thing. What I can do is being a pine, I will remove the access. Okay, so I will say chmod. Okay, uh, re- for others please remove write access for pine directory. Okay, clear? So this is being removed, right? This is being removed now. You can see others doesn't have. Now we go inside pine directory, right? So now, oops, now if I do long list again, right? So can can other user one delete any file created by let's say I create a new file by pine, so I will call it f1. Okay, so can user one rm minus rf, even if we use forceful option, can user one delete this file called f1? Permission denied. This is what, because user 1 doesn't have a, write access. That's why it cannot delete this. Now let's do last experiment just for your convenience. I will again give the write access to find directory. Now let's try to run this file, run command again. Boom. So you see that how easily user 1 can delete a file owned by Pine because the directory got write access. That's why we cannot afford to give a write access to directories. So let's try to remove this. So I will again remove the access of write from Pine directory, right? This is it. So I hope I was able to explain you the whole concept. So same way you can also experiment to remove the X from others, and then this guy user 1 cannot CD to it, or if you remove R, then this user called user 1 cannot ls to the directory called Pine. So you can experiment all of that activities. So I will switch to the next topic, and we'll play with that. So what I will do, this is root, okay? The last window is root. So I will go into the root directory. As a root, I will create a directory called uh, project, projects, okay? Projects. So what I will do, okay, let's do it one by one. So I created a directory as a root as a called project. So I will do ls minus ld on projects to see the permissions. So you can see the permissions default is this as a root. Okay. Now what I will do, I will change the, I will use the chown command, chown chown command or change owner command, so that I want to change the owner of this directory projects to Pine. Pine. Oh, before I do that, let's try to do one more thing. I will now create. So if I go here, so we have gone through all these experiments just now. So I'm here in the last subject. So we will first create a Unix group called proj. And in order to create a new Unix group called or any group, so we have to use a group add command first as a root. So let's do that. group group add, and let's add a new group called proj. Okay, this is being added. So how do you know whether this group exists or not? You can check in the /etc/group file to confirm. Now we will add Pine user and user 1 to this group. In order to do that, we have to use add user command and the name of the group, or maybe first the name of the user, I believe. Let's confirm. Yeah, you have to give the username first and then the group name. So I will add Pine user to this group called proj. Okay. I will also add user called user 1 inside this group called proj. Okay, good. So both the users have been now added. Sorry, both the users now have been added to a group called proj. Okay. Now next thing is I'll do ls minus ld or this training. Oh, sorry, not training with projects. Projects. Let me remove training. rm minus rf training. That's not required. Okay. ls minus ld projects. Okay. Sorry, ld projects. Okay. So you can see I have this permission. So owner is root, user owner is root, group owner is root. I will run and then pine colon proj and then projects. Clear? Let's run this command. So now if you rerun the ls minus ld, now you can see the owner of this directory is pine user, and the group owner is proj. And when I say group owner is proj, means now the group owner means the member of these group is they are fall into the group owner category. And what are the members? Two members we have added: pine user. Pine is also the group user owner, and also we have added another user, user1. He is also the member of the group owner called proj now. And this is the project directory. By the way, if this is a root, okay, if this is a root can still delete any file or directory in Unix, even if the permissions are not set. Even this is being created now. Good, so we are almost there. So what we will do now, this is user one. Okay, so when a user is recently added to the group, you have to actually log out the user and log in back the same user with the password. Why it is important? Because now you can see the groups are being shown for this user. Now you can see this user also have a group called proj. Okay, same way for pine. Right now I have not logged off, right? So you will see that if I don't log off, the newly group is not shown, proj is not shown here. So what you can do is you can again do su pine, login again, welcome to pine, and if I run the groups command now, you can see the proj is being also shown. So both the logins have now then I mean you can see the proj is added, right? Good. This is it. So now user one will also go into the, so let's go at the root directory only. And if I do ls minus ld on projects, right? Projects. So this is it. Now the same thing, let's go for as a pine and run ls minus ld projects. Okay, this is it. So what is the situation? So I am user one. User one is where? User one is not pine, so user one cannot be uh, uh, user owner. But user one is a part of proj. So that means user one is a group, one of the member of the group owner, right? And that means the user owner has read and execute permission now. Means the means user one has read or execute, but others also have the read execute. But this project is confidential. Okay, so being a pine, who is the owner now? Owner is pine, as you can see. So the only owner can change the permission of this directory, not user one. So if I smartly try to do chmod, um, so what is this? This is 7, right? Read, write, execute. Or maybe we remove the uh, read and execute from others. So how to remove a read execute from others? So you can do O minus RW. No, O minus RX for projects. But can I run it? Because I am not the owner. But who I am? So I am basically the group owner, right? So this user one is still the group owner because I'm the part of this proj group. So can a group owner remove change the permissions? Let's check. No, group owner cannot. So only root or owner can change the permission. So I now let's it's a good learning. Make a note. So and here on the right hand window, I am the owner. So I'm going to change the permission. So now I'll run the same command again. Chmod. Sorry about it. Chmod. O minus RW. No R, not W. RX projects. Right? Boom. Works fine because this is the owner. I'm the owner, right? So now let's run the same command, long listing, and you can see owner has been able to remove the permissions of from others. Okay, so assume there is a third user, user 2. which it doesn't exist, but you can create one. That user cannot access this directory anymore because other has no access, read, write, execute, nothing. So who can work on this project now? Only two type of people can work under this project directory. One, the owner Pine, and second, all the members of proj group. That is the whole objective of creating the Unix group. Now, I hope this one is clear. Let's do one quick experiment so that you understand it better. So, okay, so let's run the, not this one, here. So this is user one. User one can do the CD to this project's directory. Yes, because user one is group owner, proj. So I can still do CD to this directory, right? As you can see, let's come back. Can I do ls minus ltr, whatever, ls minus la, let's say, ls minus la to this directory projects? Yes, why? Because I have a read access also, right? So let's go inside this directory projects, okay, and do ls again. So I can do, can I make a new file inside this as a user one? User one is a part of group owner. Group owner has what permission? Read and execute, means I cannot touch a file. Let's try. I don't have a permission. So what shall we do? Okay, Pine is responsible of this directory, right? So user one will say, hey, I'm the part of the Unix group called proj, but I cannot create any file because I do not because the and then because the Unix group proj, all the members do not have a write access. Can we fix it? I will say, okay, we have to fix it. Otherwise, how will you work? So I will go to this path. I'm already here, right? So I will now add group. I will give group a write access. W write. Correct? Now check. The group also have a write access. Now I will tell, hey, user one, I have given you the permission. Can you try again? He will run touch and he's happy and he's able to create. But look, when he creates a new file, it will be under his ownership, but the group is also under his ownership, right? That's the thing. This is something you have to remember. By default, the group will not be the same group as the root directory of Pine, which is proj. Means the root directory of what is the root directory in projects? The group owner for the root directory project is proj, but here it is not the case. The group owner is user one. Similarly, let's go. Let me go to this project directory, and if I create a new file touch as a file one, and I do long list. So similarly, the file one is created under the ownership of Pine, but again the group is now Pine. But if a user one, okay, wants to make a change in the file one, can he do the change? So let's try. So I will try to open a file one. Who am I? Let me just confirm. So I'm the Pine user, and I will try to open a file called user one. User one file is file. Okay, file. Okay, let's and look, it's read only. It's read only. Means I cannot do any. I cannot write anything. Why it is read only? Why it is read only? Because for this owner user one, this Pine is others. Clear? And for other, it's only read only. Similarly, for this file one, with respect to this file one, this user one is other also, right? That's the reason. But if we give the both the groups as a proj, then it might solve our problem because because in both the cases the Unix group will be proj, and both are the user1 and pine both are the members of that group, so that they can then modify the file accordingly. They can also do it. So how to fix this problem? By default, how can we, if someone creates a new file, by default, how the group can still be proj, not user1 or pine? Okay, so this is our objective to solve. Okay, so now let's remove file and file1. Can let me just add a force switch. Can a user pine remove file and file1 both, even if file file has the ownership of user1? And the answer is that the root directory has, for this owner, for user pine, there is a read write execute access for the root direct for the parent directory. That means this user can also delete this file, right? So always remember the concept. Okay, so what we will do, how to fix this problem? What we can do is, as a pine user, user can do chmod. He can add uh, there is a terminology called set group ID, and that is being set by g plus s. So the group ID is, we set this group, we will set a group ID by this command g plus s, and we give the directory name as projects. Okay, projects. What will happen? So if I do a ls minus ld on this projects directory, you will see there is an extra bit of s has been also added on top of x. So this means the group ID has been set to this directory. Now what will happen once it is done? So it will have it what it will do, it will, let's say, if user 1 creates a new file called u1, and if you do the long list, the diff- the group is now proj because of this g plus s command. Now the default group is the same group as a group of parent directory called projects, which is proj group. Now if I create, if I, being a user, let me just go inside projects directory, and now being a pine user, I will create another directory called p1. Now you can see even p1 has a same group as proj. So this is the advantage. This is what it gives you an advantage. Now uh, this file called p1 has read write for group, and this file u1 is also have the, it also has a read write for um, this for the group called proj, and pine and user1 both are the member of proj group. So this means user1 pine1 can still now modify the file of uh, user1. So let's try u1. Look, hello, good. So pine1 can do it, and let's try the, as a user1 I will open ownership of pine, but still the group is proj for this pine p1. I open it and I can say hey. So both users are able to perform the task of changing the file now, right? But there is a problem. The problem is that the group is same. They are sharing. That means even the user pine can user pine can anyway delete the file of user one, because the parent directory called projects have read write execute for owner, right? That is the thing. But let's say if there is another user 2 comes, and if he also gets the proj added to the proj Unix group, then the user 2 can also do the modification, because the group is same on a file created by user 1. But he can also delete the file of user 1, because um, the group have the permission of read write. That is the whole concept of this. So this can be also prevented by a sticky bit. So if you add a sticky bit as well on the directory, then this issue can be resolved. I will create a separate topic, a separate video for sticky bit. So this is it for today, guys. I hope you found this video useful. Keep practicing. Thank you. Bye.